Hey everyone, it's Madison from PH Doodling. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today I'll be setting up the first 2 weekly spreads for this month. If you watched my February plan with me, you'll know my theme this month is Paris. If you haven't watched that video yet, please be sure to go and check it out to see how I set up my monthly spreads with this fun Paris theme. There are 4 weeks in February, so during this video I'll be setting up the first 2. Be sure to check back next Sunday where I'll be posting part 2 where I set up the final 2 weeks in February. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoy it, and also don't forget to hit subscribe so you get notifications when I post future videos. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. The first step I use when creating my spreads, no matter if it's weekly or monthly, is outlining and sketching all of my doodles in pencil beforehand. I find this just makes the coloring and outlining process so much easier. So I start my videos with everything sketched out in pencil, and then I'll move on to outlining, which I'm doing here. I do this by using my Micron plastic nib tip pen. I really like outlining all of my doodles. I really think it gives a very complete and finished look, and I just like kind of this dark finished look that the outlining kind of creates once you add color. Now that I've outlined all of those doodles, I'll go ahead and move on to adding color. I'm creating here right now my mini calendar. If you've watched any of my videos in the past, you know I really love having this mini calendar on every spread that I possibly can. I like being able to see kind of the overview of the month and just kind of where we are. I also really like having these events and to-do sections. I always try to incorporate them in my weekly spread setups. I really do strive to have function and fun in all of my weekly setups. So I make sure that I have spreads that I'm able to actually use and are helpful in my planning throughout the week. For that event section, I have just a box for each day, and that is where I put events that happen at specific times. So let's say I have a meeting at 10, I'll write that over there. Then I'll use my daily boxes more as a to-do list for that day of tasks that I'm hoping to complete, but don't necessarily have a time requirement. And then my to-do box is more of my weekly to-dos, so stuff that I need to complete but don't necessarily need to be done by a certain day. I'm going in and filling in some of my doodles with color. I decided to incorporate a lot of these rose leaf patterns in my theme. I just thought they really fit well with the Paris theme and also the color palette that I chose. When I first started doing this monthly setup, I didn't know that I was going to incorporate so many of these little row houses like I'm filling in here, but I just really love the vibe that they give, and I thought they went really well with kind of my Eiffel Tower, and so I decided to incorporate more of them throughout these weekly spread setups because I just really loved how they looked and they were really fun to draw. I just went ahead and used my Muji pen and wrote in the day of the week and the date, just really quick in my natural handwriting, and that finishes out this spread. I can't wait to fill it in this week. Moving on now to week 2. For this week, I decided to do another Dutch door spread. I also decided to do kind of purely hearts for this week because Sunday is going to be February 14th, so Valentine's Day. I didn't want to do an entire theme centered around Valentine's Day and hearts, so I decided 1 week was good, and it fit in with my Paris theme. I first started by outlining all of the hearts on this page and the few doodles that I did incorporate, and then filling in my mini calendar events and to-do sections. Alright, now that I have kind of outlined my doodles, moving on to the difficult part, which is actually creating the Dutch door. So I'm going to actually take my scissors and just cut up the side of the paper, and then after that initial straight up edged cut, I'm going to take my scissors and actually cut around the hearts to kind of create that effect of them coming off of the page. So I did, you can see that straight cut up there, and you can see the edge is nice and straight, and then off camera I went ahead and cut around those hearts, and you can see I really like how it's kind of edged out, and you can see behind the hearts and actually kind of see the effect of how they look. I think it's going to look super cute once I get it filled in. One thing you'll note is that when I have my Dutch door open on either side of the page, you can still see my event section and my to-do section. And so if you're going to create a spread like this, I suggest definitely kind of figuring out where you need to cut so that you're able to still see both of those sections on each of your page. Something I've learned after kind of learning how to make these spreads is it's really all just about planning and counting out to make sure you cut at the right spot. You can see I'm just adding the finishing touches, using my handwriting font to letter in the days of the week, and coloring in the rest of the hearts. You can see I really stuck with the pinks and reds from my color palette this month. I didn't really use any of the blues because I wanted to kind of keep it very heart and Valentine's theme for this week. These Dutch door spreads do take a little bit of extra time to create. but I really love how they turned out. I can't decide if it's something that I really need the extra space for, so we'll see if I do one next month, but I really did enjoy setting this one up. The finishing touch here is I just decided to do a little Happy Valentine's doodle down at the bottom underneath Sunday, since that is Valentine's Day. Thought really just tie in this heart theme for this week. Alright, so we have my completed second week of February. I really love how this Dutch door spread turned out. I love the hearts going along the edge, and I'm so glad I decided to fussy cut around them to really accentuate the shapes of the hearts. Let's go ahead and take a quick flip through of this 2 weekly spread setup. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had so much fun creating it for you. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit subscribe. I'll be posting part 2 next week, where I set up the final 2 weeks in February. Thanks for watching. Happy doodling!